Our third guest of the evening, making her debut in the BKFC, long awaited debut. We've been hearing about her for a long time and we've been excited about her. Martyna Krol, here we go. What's going on?
Boom.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, hey, how are you doing?
We are good. How are
Doing
you?
good.
Do we have
I'm
a guest?
good. I'm good.
Now, you down? You're in Atlanta. You live in Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, originally from Poland, correct?
Absolutely.
When you were in Poland, I saw that you used to work as a morning jockey. What did you do? You
I
rode
I
horses like
used
for
to
races and stuff?
I used to train them, like ride them in the mornings for like to prepare them for races, and I also used to like actually race them. Like I used to be a jockey.
That's
You're
awesome.
aren't you too tall to be a jockey?
It's about the weight, and I was
Uh,
really young, so I was very skinny.
yeah, I mean, here we always look at the Kentucky Derby and stuff, and they're all like 4'9", little tiny
Yeah.
guys. That's awesome. That's a cool job, man. So you are coming from the Muay Thai world. How many fights in Muay Thai do you have? I was trying to find your record. Do you have over 30? How many? How many do you have?
37.
37. And
Dang.
what brought you into what drew you to the bare knuckle world?
Well, actually, I used to be friends with Sheena Star, and we actually talked, and she actually introduced me to Nate Shook. So we started talking, and that's how we kind of like, you know, because like it's very hard here in America to have any Muay Thai fights because the Muay Thai world is so small. So I was just like kind of trying to look for opportunities to just fight because that's my passion, and just like whatever angle I can hit, you know, I want to do it.
And in the BKFC, are you going to be fighting 125?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Because the reason why I asked, I was going through, I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos on you, and like you had some at 135, you had some at 125, you had some at 130, you had them all over the place, and I wasn't sure if they're, going to give you somebody at 135 or 125. So January 29th, are we allowed to know who you're fighting?
Yes, I'm fighting Jocelyn Jones at 125.
Okay, Jocelyn Jones, a UFC veteran, MMA veteran. You must be excited about that. What do you know about Jocelyn?
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be a tough fight. I mean, I'm ready for it. I have been ready for it for over 2 years, so I'm mentally prepared, physically prepared. I have an awesome coach, and we're a strong team, and we're ready for this. So I'm sure she's gonna be a tough opponent, and I'm not gonna be any less. So
I mean, your trainer is no slouch, right?
yeah,
You got a pretty good trainer for bare knuckle. Who is it?
Joe Elmore.
Joe Elmore. Joe Elmore. Joe Elmore. Can I tell you something funny, Martina? Me and Mike are both full time in the military, and I'm in a conference call today with a bunch of people from the entire East Coast region. And now there's officers and NCOs from all over the East Coast on there. And I'm looking at the screen. There's a screen and it shows all the people that have called in. And there's a CW3, a Chief Warrant Officer 3, Joseph Elmore on the phone. And I'm looking at that name, and I'm looking at that name, and
Ah,
I'm like, this fucking guy better be a savage. He better be a goddamn savage, man. Because with a name like that, you better be.
I
you better
wanted you.
be one,
I wanted
right?
him to tell him like, "Hey, there's a fighter, with the name Joe Elmore, and he's a beast. You need to watch him. He'll be on the show tomorrow. Joe Elmore will be on the show tomorrow, and he's a beast. The guy's awesome. He's entertaining. He's an awesome guy. So
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. How did you hook up with Joe Elmore?
Well, I was supposed to fight Jamie Driver 2 times in a row, actually, for the past, I don't know, like last, no, not last BKFC event, the one before that, and then a while back as well. 2 times she backed out for personal reasons, but like during that time, Kevin Smith, who is my manager. We were kind of trying to find me someone good near where I live, to train with for bare knuckle especially. And yeah, of course, Joe is from Atlanta, so we hit him up, and we're a very good team. So I'm very glad we actually got him up, and him and his wife are amazing. And it's just great to be a part of their team.
Now, I know that when we had Joe on last time, we talked to him about his sponsor, like his wife hustles for his ass, right? Like you just brought her up. Man, she don't stop for that guy, and he's a fucking awesome dude. How did you end up in Atlanta? Like, did your family move? Like, how old were you when you came from Poland, and how did you end up in Atlanta?
Well, I never really came here from Poland. Like, I traveled all over the world. Like, well, like I said, I used to be a jockey, so I was traveling all over Europe all the time and living there. And then I moved to Cuba for a year to study Spanish. Then from there, I went to South Korea for a year, then to Thailand for 2 years. That's where I actually started fighting professionally. And then I moved from Thailand to Australia. And then from Australia, my manager called me up if I wanted to fight Tiffany Consus for Lion Fight 23 for the world title. So they flew me over to California. And so that's how I kind of got here, and how I ended up in Atlanta. Well, I actually met my husband in Vegas. Unfortunately, we were separated, but that's a different topic. So, yeah. But yeah, that's how I ended up here.
Now, I know that Kevin Smith is your manager, and I can tell you that I did not know Kevin Smith was your manager. I booked this show with you, and then Kevin hit me up and was like, "Hey, how did you get Martyna?" Without talking to me, and I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, Stu Nod. What are you, a Stu
Stu,
Nod?
he,
You didn't
yeah,
even
he
ask.
called me. He's like, "You fucking Stu, now what'd you do?" And so how'd you, Kevin Smith is the man. I happen to know that Kevin said that they have been trying to get you a fight for a very, 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 very long time.
Very long time, like even out of my weight class completely, because I don't fight at 135 usually. Only I took the 135 or 145 is because there's nothing else.
Why do you think no one will fight you?
Because I think that they look at like the Muay Thai stats, and I'm also pretty tall for my weight class.
No, you're very tall. That was one of the things that, like, when I was jotting notes as I was watching all your fights, you're very tall, or you seem very tall. I don't know, like you fight tall. Or how tall are you?
I'm just very lanky. Like I'm long. Like
Yeah.
overall, like.
What is your height? 5'7", 5'8"?
I'm 5. No, I'm 5'8", but
5'8".
I have really long limbs.
Yeah, you fight long, but you also have really fast hands, and you have great footwork. Your hand speed, you're very, very your hand speed's really fast. I would imagine that having so much Muay Thai experience, like bare knuckle, you must be drooling over that shit to be able to clinch and fight in the clinch.
I mean, obviously, like it's a very new sport for me. Like I kind of know what to expect and stuff because, like, I've had a lot of fights in Muay Thai. I've been like elbowed, kneed, and stuff. So, like, yeah, I definitely am tough and I can push through it. And I know the fighter I am, and I'm nothing like I was 5 years ago. Like, I'm a completely different fighter, and I'm ready for this. But no, of course, I'm excited. I'm excited and nervous, but it's most of the excitement and the anticipation. Since years I was waiting to do this, so it's gonna be fun. I just want to have fun and just go out there and show my skills. That's it.
Yeah, Howie in the comments says, so when is Martyna fighting? She just told us, Howie, she is fighting January 29th against Jocelyn Jones-Lybarger, who will be on the show tomorrow night. She's going to be on this show tomorrow night. So Martyna, if you want to tune in, you can hear what she's got to say.
You could jump in the comments and
yeah, you can jump in the comments and talk shit like everyone else does. It's great. My sister. So now I come from Polish and Russian blood.
Oh.
Yeah. So my sister says, how do you pronounce pierogies? Would you say pierogi or padogi? How would you say?
I said pierogi.
Pierogi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how my family said it too. But as I've grown older and I'm around people that don't say it like that, they read it off the box. I've been saying pierogi.
Yeah, you start to use it like they do to make it
Yeah.
easier for them.
Pierogi, yeah, pierogi. Yes, that is great. My mom makes them. It's like to make homemade pierogis is like a it's a big job, right? It's like a lot of work in the kitchen. So
I
we
mean,
just
I
buy the
remember
frozen
my
shit.
yeah, it is a kind of a lot of work, but I don't know. Honestly, I've never made them myself, so I don't really know.
I ate them tonight for dinner. By the way, with
Really?
Oh, you
kielbasa. Yes, I
did?
did. I
What
had
the
them
fuck?
I had them with kielbasa, fried onions, applesauce, and sour cream.
Ah,
That's
I
what's up.
at a
damn.
baseball game in Pennsylvania. I went to like a AAA baseball game, and it was sponsored by that Mrs. T's or whatever. What is it, Mrs. T's pierogies? You know
Yeah,
the
Mrs.
frozen ones
T's.
you always see. So they have them, and there's like people dressed up in pierogi like costumes, and they have to race along the outside of the baseball track and shit. But anyways, they sell them at the baseball stadium. So I was like, oh, I'm actually starving, so I'm gonna go get some because we were drinking and shit. So I go and actually had them in buffalo sauce and barbecue sauce, and the barbecue sauce ones were covered in, I think it was just like cheese and potato covered in barbecue sauce with pulled pork on top of them. And they
No,
were
Mike.
absolutely insane. Like they were so damn good. I was like,
Wow.
holy shit.
Mike, that's just Americanizing the shit, though.
I'll
You
tell
just
you
Yeah, I
what,
was about to say like that. I
I'll
don't
eat them anyway.
know.
But
Hey, you
I've
just
eaten
eat
them
it with some
regular and
butter,
I've eaten
dude.
them.
Eat it with a little butter, some fried onions, and some
I've
fucking
had them like
kielbasa and
that too.
sauerkraut, and you're good.
No, I'm all set with that
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, you fucking loser.
No
Tell him he's a
sauerkraut for
loser,
me.
Martina.
I
Tell him he's
can't
a
eat that
fucking.
sauerkraut. No way.
Hey, on this
Yeah,
show.
that's some Americanized stuff. Too much going on. Simple as that.
No. That's awesome. Now, tell me about training with Joe Elmore. Joe Elmore, we know he's a savage in the ring. How is he as a coach? Is he as relentless as a coach as he is a competitor in the ring?
No, he has the perfect connection to me. He knows exactly how to connect with me, especially like as a I'm sure like a lot of like like us females, especially like fighting, it's like very much different than males. Like we're way more emotional, and he has to deal with me a lot, like like a lot of stuff. But I'm really grateful for him because he's been so great, and like him and his wife have been like there for me all the time. Like I cannot complain about anything. Like Joe is
That,
the man, that's for sure.
does he crack you
And
up?
he's such a good trainer. He's been teaching me everything. Like I'm really happy.
That's great. Does he keep you laughing? Because I know that dude is a hilarious guy with his cholo. He has that cholo
Oh
self-defense.
yeah. He keeps me laughing for sure, but sometimes he pisses me off.
As as most men will do with the women in their lives, of course.
Or like
Uh,
all men, not most.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see
Sounds about right.
Hey, I see your skateboard there on the right, next to you. Your left, my right.
It's a
Uh,
longboard.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Longboard.
you do that? You skateboard?
A little bit. I like to do it for fun because it's like kind of like helps me like free my mind, like go out and just like I'm not great at it. I just started like not too long ago, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's just something I like to do. Nothing intense.
Well, I could tell you right now, we are very excited to finally get you on the show, finally get to hear that you're going to be fighting in the
Yeah.
BKFC. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see you live, but we'll be watching and we'll be excited. We're going to do a 5-question little speed round with you. I don't know if you saw the rest of the show, but these are fun questions.
No,
They
I
don't
have
have.
not.
All right. Well, it's a little speed round. Your manager might not like this, but whatever. Kevin, you can talk to me later. Number 1, here we go. Who's an athlete you've always looked up to? You got one?
I mean, not really. Like just a few, honestly. Like when I was younger, just like people I wanted to like fight, and I actually fought them. So those
Really?
are people who are. One person definitely like Tiffany van Soest because she is an amazing athlete and she just well rounded, and her footwork is just amazing. That was my hardest fight in my life ever against her. Yeah. So she's definitely someone I look up to.
Okay.
That's cool.
Number 2.
What is your favorite thing to do in Poland?
In Poland? Oh
Yeah,
my
what was
God,
your
that was
favorite
like you're
thing to
asking
do?
me questions from when I was a kid. I haven't been there forever.
All
What,
right,
what
well,
did you love to do when you were there? That isn't here in America, like somewhere you like to go or something you do that you just don't do anymore.
Oh, what do you call it? When I was a little kid, I liked the sled, like going down the sled on the snow, down
Yeah.
like the hills and stuff.
you haven't
I
done that
guess
in
that was
America?
something. No, oh, obviously not. And also,
Not in
like
Georgia.
something that we used to do there during the winter was like there would be like a car pulling like a bunch of like sleighs on the
Really?
snow. Yeah, it was fun.
That sounds fun.
You got to
That
come up
sounds-
north to where we are, and then we'll leave. You can come up here
No
with the
thanks, because
snow
I
and
hate the
shit. We'll go
cold.
down.
I'm good. I'm good.
Ugh.
All right, number 3. Since you live in Atlanta and you cannot say Joe Elmore, who is your favorite Atlanta rapper?
Oh shit. Oh my God, you put me on the spot here. It's supposed to be a quick question. I guess like who's from Atlanta? What's some rappers from Atlanta?
I mean,
'Cause I don't know exactly. I can tell you I like the baby, but I don't know if he's from Atlanta.
I don't know if he
Ti.
is. I could tell you that,
He
like
is?
Outkast, Ti,
Oh yeah, 2 Chains too, right?
2 Chainz. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like 2 Chains.
Ludacris, yeah, Ludacris is.
He's back in the day.
Come on, Outkast is the best ever, and they're from back in the day. Number 4, here we
I
go.
don't even
Number
know them.
what? Hold
Okay.
up, before we go.
Never mind. Let's
Hold
skip
on.
to 4.
Before we go to number 4,
No.
Martina, next time you talk to Joe Elmore, you ask him who Outkast is, and have him
Okay.
explain that to you. because-
Tomorrow that will be.
Yes, say who is Outkast, and then he's gonna go off on a tangent about that shit.
Uh-huh.
Oh
They're
my
like
God.
they're
Then I
like
have
the
to get pissed.
number 4.
What is something that really pisses you off?
Oh my God. I just like when people are not straightforward.
You don't like when people are not straightforward?
Yeah, when they're
No,
beating
when
around
like
the bush.
people are not straightforward. Like when they like beat around the bush, it really pisses me
Yeah.
off. Come on.
I'm right there with
Tell
you. I
me
don't
what's
like that
going
shit.
on.
Like, get to the
Yeah.
fucking point, would you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like your answer. Number 5, last but not least, if you could receive any gift for Christmas this year, what would it be?
I guess the sweatsuit since I'm cutting weight.
There you go. You hear that,
Hey.
Joe?
I love it, man.
A
I love it.
sweatsuit.
A sweatsuit. All right. Well, you know what? Thank you very much for coming on tonight. You give a shout out to some people. Thank whoever you want, and we'll let you get going. And we look forward
All
to
right.
seeing you fight.
Awesome. I'm well, obviously, hi Joe, Elmore, and like Maggie. And I wanted to say hi to my sister. She's coming here for my fight, so I'm very excited. I haven't seen her in a very long time. So shout out to my family and my friends and coworkers and my teammates, Team Octopus and Nakado Japanese Restaurant. Okay, thank you so much.
No, thank you. And we have some people in the comment section says you better listen to Outkast before you talk to Elmore.
Oh shit! Hopefully it's nothing bad.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll listen to it. I will listen to it tonight.
Yeah. You never heard "Sorry, Miss Jackson"? Ooh, I am
Oh, dun, 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 dun. Hell yeah!
Never
I know that
meant to make
song.
your daughter
Okay,
cry.
that's good.
with so fresh and so clean.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, that's
so fresh and
Outkast.
so. Yeah.
Bombs Over Baghdad. I'm telling you, they have so many good songs, and they got multiple good albums. But their best albums are the first 2, Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music and AT Aliens. That's the ones to listen to. You have homework to do tonight, Martina. Listen to those albums, and thank you so much for coming on. And we look forward to your fight January 29th.
All right, thank you so much for having me. Have a good night.
Let's go.